Exactly. And so here's one of the start of the finished product.
Hello, I'm Yuria, a freshman of Kansai Gaida University. I major in English because I want to get a job using English in the future.
So they focused more on just everyday language. Most of these students weren't going abroad to study in mainstream English courses or university courses. So they just wanted to improve their English for maybe future jobs or just for their own desire. But it got them out of the classroom, it got them off the campus, it got them to really evaluate their own culture, and it gave them kind of a teaching role to teach others about their culture, which they really valued. And so motivation the first year was, they were fighting me a lot on it. They're like, oh, we can't do this, oh, it's too tough, da, 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 da. Then we started putting them on iTunes and started putting them on YouTube, and they were seeing how many people were actually watching this from all over the world, and their motivation went through the roof. The second year, they didn't even complain when I said we're going to do this. I said the first year they did this is how many people have seen it, and they're like, okay, yeah, we can do that. And they were motivated because they knew so many people would be seeing it. And so they really, the bottom one was day in the life of. And so they did a jockey, and we didn't even have a racetrack in our town, but someone's hometown they had a racetrack. So they did it on a jockey, and then they did it on different restaurant owners and things to that extent. So they really did a good job, and it got them out into their own culture.
I'm ready. This is the user music. King Company introduced Tanabata Festival with Japanese tradition. Enjoy. Tanabata is a Japanese staff festival and it is held on July 7th. Originally, it was a Chinese staff festival. From Heian period, it was imported and spread to the general public by the early Edo period. In Japan, there was a Shinran ceremony around the same time. It existed in order to pledge a god to protect rice crops from rain and to be a rich harvest later in fall. Gradually, it was put together with Chinese story and it became Tanabata. Now, as we know, it celebrates the meeting of Orihime and Mikoboshi. This festival is held at night because that's when the stars come out. There was an Orihime by the bank of the Milky Way, and she weaved beautiful cloth. Her father loved the cloth she weaved. She weaved cloth so hard every day. But she was sad because she worked so hard that she could never meet and fall in love with anyone. Her father was worried about her, so
how about meeting Hikoboshi? He is in the other side of Milky Way. He is so handsome.
when they met, they fell in love instantly with each other and were married. But once married, they idled away their lives instead of working their one job every day. So her father got angry.
You have to leave the clothes. You haven't worn them for a long time. Don't meet him.
And then he separated the two lovers across the Milky Way and didn't allow them to meet. Orihime
There's
was
seats up here if you want.
I wanna meet him. Her father
Academy Award
broke
acting.
her tears.
Shut up. Don't cry anymore. Okay, I allow you to meet him on the 7 days of the 7th month. If you work hard and finish your wedding.
Thank you, Dad. The first time, though they tried to meet, they could not cross the river because there was no bridge. Then a flock of magpies came and promised. You can catch a by our wings, so you can cross the river. Thanks to them, the two could meet and had a good time. From then, they can meet once a year on dry 7. But if it rains, the magpies can't come, and the two lovers must wait until next year. So, Japanese people hope the day will be fine for them.
Today, Japanese people gradually celebrate this day by writing their wishes on tangaku, which is small, colorful pieces of paper, and hanging them on bamboo. In Japan, many areas have their own Tanabata festivals and customs.
Tanabata festivals are held along shopping malls and streets. In Hirakata, they are held too. Near Hirakata Station, there is a river named Amanogawa, which means Milky Way. And under this river, there is a bridge named Amatsubashi. We can see many bamboos decorated with many tanzaku along the river. Though Tanabata festival is different from area to area, all people wishes their own hope without regard to age or sex. And story of Orihime and Hikoboshi is told from generation to generation.
All right, so this was at the end of the first semester, and they do the editing, they do all the narration, they do the video, I don't do anything. So this is all student-centered production. Okay, so my time in Japan ended. Oops, sorry. And, I'm going more for fluency. We will go over the script if they want to, and we'll work on pronunciation then, but I don't try to hammer it in. Okay, so my plane left, and I came back to the United States to teach at Michigan State University, who is playing tomorrow night. So we'll hope that they win. Hope. And so once again, I wanted to continue podcasting, but I had to reanalyze what my students' needs were, because it's a totally different setup. My students are all coming over here to hopefully matriculate into normal courses and get their bachelor's or master's or PhD degrees at MSU. So I had to go at this from an academic approach, and not only that, but an academic approach within the US. And so for that, I also had to look at whether it was survival English, party English, everyday English, work English, but it really wasn't any of that. It was academic English. So I had to kind of devise different criteria for their projects. and they had to go back to the books.